Oh, there we go. Oh my gosh, this is
What's up, everyone? We're back at you with another episode of the Think Outside podcast presented by Baits.com. This episode is just going to be a little bit different of a turn. We usually have, an angler on. We'll talk about a tournament or something along those lines, maybe dive into a specific product or, technique. But this episode, we're really going to dive into a specific lake. And I couldn't think of a better lake to start off kind of doing this a little bit different spin on the podcast other than Lake Guntersville. Today, we're bringing on a full-time guide on Lake Guntersville, avid tournament angler. He fishes all across the United States in the highest of the levels. He's a straight-up grinder. What's up, Laker? How we doing, man?
What up, Joey?
Like I was saying, we couldn't have anyone better than Laker on for this kind of first little part. I don't know if I'm going to call it a series, but, first little part of this podcast, kind of breaking down a lake, talking about a lake. And, man, Laker – if anyone follows you on Instagram or Facebook, they know you absolutely smash them on Lake Guntersville, and you have been for, man, it's been like 3 months in a row. I mean, this been the whole year. I'll be looking at your Instagram and you're like, well, there was another 120 fish over the past 2 days or something. Just incredible.
Yeah, I spend a lot of time out there. I'm pretty fond of Lake Guntersville, whether it's in the grass or scoping or whatever. I don't really discriminate what they're doing. I just kind of get out there and whatever somebody says they're throwing, or I figure out something they're throwing, whatever they're going to bite, I throw it.
Yeah, exactly. 100%.
Yeah.
So I know you're at Lake Champlain, I believe, for the Toyota series right now. You kind of want to touch on that? I hope it hasn't been as hot as it has been down here. Dude, it's like 95 for the past 4 days in Tennessee. It's miserable.
Dude, you know what's crazy is I left, 2 days ago to get up here. So I've been up here for 2 days. And it was like 94, 95 in Alabama. Now, obviously, the humidity is like way higher in the South. So,
yeah,
people up north, no offense, y'all ain't got a clue what heat really is. But
they don't know, dude.
They ain't got a clue, dude. But as I'm going up the interstate, I keep seeing on my map it's saying like, oh, there's a heat advisory. I'm like, it ain't a heat advisory. It's 100 degrees on the interstate all the way up, bro. Soon as I left Tennessee, the temperature rose, and I was like, what?
You're like, crap, dude, this is gonna suck.
I know, dude. I get up here and I'm like thinking it's gonna be in the 70s and 80s. No, it's been 96 both days I've been up here. And the wind did not blow today until lunchtime, which is a miracle for this place. Anybody that's ever fished here. But when it did blow, it turned into 3-footers. So I was going 40 miles an hour. But
no fun at all.
Yeah. The temperature is definitely not what the north is used to. So it's different.
Has it been a little tougher from that? I mean, that's hot for up there, dude. Like usually a hot day. I grew up in Chicago. A hot day would be like 90. That's like, dang, I ain't even gonna go outside today, or I ain't going fishing. Like, I can't imagine 95, dude.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it made it it's a little bit different than what it normally is. It's definitely sped the process up of these fish because, like, last time I was here was a week prior to this date to the year exactly, an invitational. And Jacob Walker won that one, and there was some fish on bed and all that kind of stuff going on. And I think there are still a few on bed, but like this time around, these fish are like, they're already, doing what they do later on. Cause I think this heat has sped them up. Like the water temp was like between 74 and 78 already. Wow. So, I mean, that's pretty warm for these fish out there. Yeah.
For sure. Are you thinking, what are you thinking for the derb? So it starts tomorrow. We're kind of recording this the day before the tournament. This is going to air on the day of the tournament, I guess. You don't got to spill all the beans. Just give us a little bit of something that you think about what you're going to do, largemouth, smallmouth.
Oh, I'm going all smallmouth. I mean, so, when I come up here I like fishing this place, every year I come and fish the Toyota every time I can, obviously. Yeah. So, whenever this tournament happens, I come to basically, just leave it all out there and try to win because you're
Fair.
not fishing for points or anything else like that. So realistically, it always takes about 21 a day to win. Because it seems like there's a bunch of like 3.5 to 4 pounders, but if you can get on that 4.25 pound average, that's how you win.
Yeah.
Or get a real lucky big bite. So I'm gonna probably go straight smallmouth and just see
Nice.
what happens. But um, the scope haters are gonna really not like my next YouTube video because I'll be looking down the whole time.
I heard that. I
Yeah.
heard that.
Yeah.
No, man. So I hope you catch him tomorrow. You're thinking what 21 pounds a day is going to win it?
Yeah, 21 pounds. And matter of fact, check this out. This is what it's come to, guys. This is what happens when a grass fisherman comes
Oh
to the
gosh,
north. I've got a spinning rod. Okay. That's bad. I don't
that's
use a spinning
crazy.
rod ever.
Oh god, how many spinner rods you got rigged up for tomorrow? You got one, or you going like all spinner rods, all 10 of them? What are you thinking?
Bro, you're gonna be shocked when I say this. I've stockpiled spinning rods over the
Oh
years of
no.
doing this. I started out my first year. I've been doing this for 6 years. Okay, the very first year I had 2 spinning rods to my name.
Yep.
I've got 11 now. Oh my god, I'm
That's
like,
huge for a Guntersville kid.
dude,
I love it.
dude, and they're all like the same action.
Oh crap. That's two.
Yeah.
That's amazing, man. I love it.
Yeah. So we're gonna go throw a spinning rod all day, and who knows? I might even break out the old man seat, sit down a little bit, watch my
That's what I'm
screen.
talking about. Yeah, a little lean back action, scope them
Yeah,
up. That's
I
heck yeah.
get to use a net this week, dude. I mean, it's like, well, we got it going on.
Moving up in the world straight up.
I'm telling you, man.
Living
I'm
in
telling you
luxury.
that Skeeter boat this week, I'm gonna be going about 55, just cruising around. Oh, that spot over there looks good. Let's go to that abyss over there. I can see what bites my spinning rod.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So it'll
hopefully
be
you
fun.
catch him tomorrow. I'm sure you will. You will. I mean,
I
Guntersville
hope.
smallmouth kid makes sense totally.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I leave a grass lake. I've been throwing big line and moving baits on for the past, month to come up here and throw 6 pound line. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
we'll see what
We'll see. Yeah,
happens. You're just getting the kinks out. You know what I mean for later down the road.
that's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
So kind of touch on the last month at Guntersville. Do you kind of want to talk about it? What's been going on the lake at Lake Guntersville? Obviously, like I started off the podcast, you have been smashing them. So let's touch on that. Like, well, what's going on at
I,
Lake Guntersville right now?
I don't know if you're ready for this juice, dude. I don't know. I don't know if you can handle the juice, bro. You know
Come
what I
on.
mean?
I've
I
been on
mean,
Loudon, and 9 pounds was a banger Monday nighter for me. That was like, oh my gosh, I took first or second. It was incredible.
9 pounds with the mega bag on Loudon. Come
Straight
on.
up.
Yeah, yeah. You had 9 pounds on Guntersville. You just throw them back.
You got issues, right?
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, the last month's been really ridiculous, honestly. So it's kind of and I don't even really mind, spilling this because I mean, it ain't like I'm doing anything secret out there, really. I mean, it's
Yeah.
just everybody since the BPT came, back in whatever year that was, like last year or year
Yeah.
before last year.
Are you
Maybe.
saying like the tournament during this
Yeah.
time of year?
Yeah, when the BPT
Yeah,
came in the
that was last
summertime
year. Yeah.
last year. So
Yeah.
ever since last year when the BPT came, because we had the ledge bite going like ridiculous, and it still
Insane.
is. And
Yeah.
like you could get out there, and the Tuesday nighters are still ridiculous as always, but you could get out there and actually have stuff to yourself. Well, I don't know if y'all saw the results from the Toyota series I was in recently when they first got out there, but I got my mind set on I'm going to go fish ledges. Well, let me just tell you, the BPT revealed everything, and I did not realize that. So I bombed, bombed bad, trying to do the offshore game. So for anybody that knows about the lake much, you may from Goose Pond, which is kind of the main, big ramp of the lake. That's up. That's pretty far up for ledge fishing. From
Yeah.
there all the way to the dam that feeds into Wheeler. I had almost 20 schools found for that tournament, and in that tournament, there was so many boats between locals, the other two tournaments going on that weekend, and our tournament. I rode around for 3 hours and never got on a single ledge. So it was
Dude,
it was
what?
it was pretty bad. I was a little bit frustrated to say the least. So
Yeah, I get
yeah.
that. That sounds miserable. I really couldn't imagine like a worse start to a ledge fishing tournament than that, dude. That's gosh.
Yeah. You ride and like, you get familiar with seeing stuff out there and where stuff is at because you fish it all the time, especially guidance. Like I'd be riding, I'd get, half a mile from it to where you can kind of see and you'd see a boat way out there in the middle of nowhere and you're like, surely he's not on it. Surely.
Like,
This
he ain't.
this
No
this
way.
is gonna be the ledge I can get on. Then you get about 500 yards from him, you're like, yeah, he's on it. He's
You're like,
definitely on it. Let's keep on going. Yeah. So then I find out afterwards, I see, Kyle Cordiana and, Fisher Naya and a bunch of them guys just whacked them shallow. And I knew that bite was going on. I just chose not to do it. So after that, the very next day, I went out there and got a little revenge on them fish. And ever
really
since
bad.
that day, it's just been it's pretty ridiculous. I mean, literally just winging a chatterbait around. Jackhammer, and everybody knows the jackhammer's a very good bait. But the main thing is, I mean, everybody always jokes about they get my boat. I'm on the GSM podcast, right? You got a bunch of Yamamoto stuff behind you. I love the
Exactly.
Seiko. Everybody knows that, but I don't throw it just because I'm sponsored by them. If I wasn't sponsored by them, I would buy my weight in Seikos to throw on a chatterbait. That is the only trailer. I refuse to throw anything but that. I genuinely mean that.
Oh, that's
Anybody that goes fishing with
ridiculous.
me, you can ask them. But I mean, this you just put the Seiko on the back of it, just a dark chatterbait, green pumpkin, black. It don't even matter really. You just throw it around and we're averaging 50 fish a day. I took a 7-year-old the other day with his dad, and in 6 hours they caught 35, and the kid was just wearing them out. I mean, it's
Dude.
incredible, man. It's incredible.
And they're all good ones too. They're all grass fish and they're all really healthy. Like what's going on? Like is the lake just would you say the lake is just kind of on the come up or is it like at the peak right now? Like, hey, this might be the best it'll
I've
ever get.
never, I've never, I've literally never fished a grass. It's got to be. I don't want to go as far as to say it's the best in the country because there may be a better one somewhere that I don't really know about that's like under the radar. But as far as like major like famous lakes, I really think it's the best largemouth lake in the country right now. I've never seen so many untouched bass every day I go out there. I mean, like,
That's
and it's
crazy.
it's ridiculous. You'll catch a 4 pounder in the grass in a community area, and there
Yeah.
won't be a mark on the fish. He will not have a hook hole, a blister, nothing on him. He's a brand new fish, never seen anything. You can tell he just got up there. He's white from the river. It's incredible. I've never seen anything like it. And then you think, well, shoot. I mean, the very next one is going to have a hook hole, and the next one don't either. I mean, it's ridiculous.
Wow. So do you kind of think the fish have like I mean not to say they left the ledges, but I mean I was down there I think 2 months ago or so. It was the GSM tournament. I can't remember when it was, but
Yeah.
there was a couple of them offshore. Like we caught them pretty good in the tournament. It was fun, but like a huge cold front rain came through, and like we had a couple 300 fish schools located, and then they were all gone. You're like, where do these fish go? Do you think they've been kind of just get pounded on so hard offshore that they're going shallow, or what do you think? Like what's the evolution of that?
Well, I mean, if you really think about it, all right, let's just break it down. This is what I've been thinking lately, especially because like ever since I've been fishing places that aren't even community areas, like stuff that's like it looks like hot garbage on the map. You're like, if you know how to fish a grass lake, you're like, there's no reason there should be a bass. There's no way.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of gets this idea in their head. There's like 6 main creeks on the lake that have all the bass in it. And the more bass you catch out there, it's like this place has got a population in it that's so ridiculous. I don't think anybody understands it. So, like, realistically, there's relative like the main schools that everybody knows. There's about, like I said, about 18 to 20 schools, right? Because you
Yeah.
got your main schools everybody knows it's got 300 bass in it, and they get there every year. Their community holes number 1 through 18. You take a number to get on them, but out of those schools, okay, let's just say there's 100 bass per school.
Yep.
Little math, that's 1,800 fish right there. So you think that in my mind, there's no way that 1,800 fish is all that's in that place to be caught. So
No
where
cap.
do the other 2 billion go? You know what I mean?
That's a
So
great way to put it. I never even thought about it that way.
yeah, I mean that's because in the main major creeks you got both the Saudis, North and South Saudi. Everybody fishes those like crazy. Then
Yep.
you got Browns, that's the other big one, and then you got Seabold. Everybody fishes Seabold.
Everyone, yeah.
Everybody knows Seabold when you come to Guntersville. And then you got Honeycomb, and then Honeycomb doesn't get fished as much. But then other than that, I mean, you got what? What's the one above Goose Pond? I'm trying to think of it. Roseberry. I mean, Roseberry's another really good one too. So
Yep.
there's those main creeks everybody fishes, but then it's the biggest lake in Alabama. So I mean, everybody's in there doing circles with each other, and I'm like, well, shoot, I'm just gonna go where nobody's at. There's nobody in there. Let's go see what happens. You pull in there, and you find a grass edge, and you just whack them because they haven't seen anything in the last week because nobody's been in there. It's like, you know what I mean?
No,
So
100%. No, I never even like thought about it that way because like I'm sure if you're going on to Lake Guntersville right now, like, hey, it's ledge season, it's 100 degrees outside. Like, hey, they're going to be offshore on the drops. But if you think
yeah,
everyone thinks that way, the bass got to eventually figure that out too, right? Like, hey, I've been getting murdered here, getting yanked up out of 25 foot for the past week. I'm going to move shallow.
yeah,
Hey, no one's messing with me up here and I'm getting caught, right?
yeah.
Heck
Like there's no way them bass on them ledges. There's not a there. I don't think there's a bait them fish haven't seen. I mean, really, they've seen every minnow, crawl, jig, big worm. I mean, it's amazing they keep biting. Honestly, it
yeah,
really is
literally.
because you'll catch new ones out of. I mean, they cycle in and out just like the grass fish do. But I feel like the reason Guntersville's so good is because, like you said with Chick earlier, we were talking about it with the population and stuff. I don't think Guntersville's ever going to have a downhill as long as the grass is there. Because I mean, realistically, when you have that much grass in a lake, the fish have so much area to get in and spawn and hide. I mean, probably I'd even with scope, I'd go as far as to say more than half the population ever sees a bait. I mean, really,
That's
uh,
insane.
it
Like,
really is when you think about it like that.
how many
'Cause
boats and how many tournaments are out there every single like is there a tournament about every day, either night day tournament, would you say 7 days a week?
dog, we got a calendar. There's a literal calendar for Guntersville. It's called Bass and Big G. Anybody that wants to know when not to come to Guntersville, look it up. You can hit the
Bass and
tournament
Big
calendar.
G.
Yeah, Bass and Big G. You just go to Safari, type in Bass and Big G, and you can see how many thousands of boats are going to be out there that week.
Gosh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So I know you touched on it, like you think it's that. I know we've said incredible 100 times this podcast already, but
Oh yeah.
it's that good of a lake right now because of just the amount of grass. Like, I mean, if you pull up to Lake Guntersville, there's grass all over. Do you think they just kind of they hide in it and then they're good for a while till they move out? Maybe the ledges get caught and they're like, oh, I'm going back up here or I
Yeah.
get touched, right?
Yeah, I think if they get caught, obviously the ones that you see out there where you throw your whatever bait you throw at them, crankbait, minnow, big worm, and they go down and look at her. They follow your minnow up on the screen for the scopers or the no scopers when you pull up on a ledge and you're like, okay, I see them on my side scan. Let's turn in and cast at them, and you've hit them for the last 30 minutes. They won't bite. I mean, you got to think they've probably been caught a lot lately. So I feel like they get educated out there. So I mean, really, I guess I got a little frustrated with that tournament, so I just said, "Screw it, I'm going up south, having fun." Because, dude, that the brim bed bite was the first thing, and that's kind of died off. But that brim bed bite was so stupid. We found one brim bed right after it kind of got going, like right after that tournament was over, and it was a
Yeah.
guide trip, and it was a kid I take all the time. He's 15, and we sat on this one brim bed, pulled down with a frog, and we caught 21 in a row off this one brim bed.
One
It was
brim bed?
yes, it was it was incredible. 21 off of one brim bed, and just throwing a frog, and then after we threw the frog on, we came back later and fire wacky rig Cinco in there,
Of
busted them on
course.
that. It's like I hope people don't think that I'm like sounding like I'm cocky when I'm saying all this because like I'm just genuinely excited because the lake is that good. I mean, it
Yeah.
really is. Like if you go to Guntersville right now, you'll see why I'm like talking like it's so easy because it really is. It ain't like I'm just catching them this good because I'm out there all the time. Like you go into any pocket and they're in it. It's
Yeah,
stupid.
that's so dumb. Can you kind of elaborate more on the brim beds? Like, I'm sure every fisherman knows what brim bed is, but like to think of 21 bass on one brim bed or even more is honestly incredible. Like I talked to he was a Jake Lawrence, and he almost won a tournament off a brim bed. And it just that's kind of a little deal that no one really talks about down south, because you think they stop spawning. All right, they're offshore. We got to go. Right. But there's that little area that they're like, hey, we're still shallow. We're eating bluegills now.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when the shallow fish that are residents, especially on a lake that's got as many bass as Guntersville does, like we've talked about, for the whole thing is it's kind of cool to see when you go down a bank. I mean, every full moon, roughly. Now I may be wrong on
Yep.
every full moon, maybe not every full moon. Most full moons in the summer and spring, you have a brim bed spawn, right? So they'll go up, the brim will go nuts. Well, on a lake like Guntersville, that's as big as it is, the brim population is outrageous. So they'll get up there and you'll see a sand spot. And as you're going, people fish grass edges, all that kind of stuff. But as you're going to the bank, if you just look with your eyes up on the bank and just look down the bank, you'll see these big bright white spots.
Yeah.
And most of them aren't that big. Most of them are the size of like, a king size bed. But if you find one like we did, the mega brim bed spot, it's the size of your bedroom, and it's like a dang Plaza Hotel for bass. They get up there and they just shark it, and they're going through just eating brim and just gorging themselves because they don't have to leave. And then when the brim finally do leave, I think they're getting revenge because brim start spawning about right after the bass quit spawning.
Yeah.
And if you watch bass when they're on bed, they go crazy over these brim that are up there
They
bugging
can't
them the whole
stand
time.
the bluegill up there.
Dude, and bluegill are driving them nuts. I feel like, shoot, they're getting their lick back, man. They're up there. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
I get it. Yeah, that makes sense. They're up there eating them now.
Yeah, they're
Like,
like,
hey,
all
we're
right,
done
y'all on
spawning
bed
y'all.
now. You're screwed now.
Y'all are absolutely screwed. No, that's too funny.
Yeah, but I mean the main deal with that is, I mean, you can throw a Cinco at them, wacky rig style, and then anything top water, buzz bait, popping frog, anything like that, kind of works pretty good for brim bed stuff. But it's a very very good way to catch really big ones because what eats brim? Big bass, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. It makes
So
total sense. I remember Laker, I was talking to your dad. I think it was during the last full moon. So I think that was like a week or two ago. He was just getting back from the elite event. And he's like, yeah, my son caught a 4-pounder off the dock on a bed. Was there a second spawn like of largemouth, which is like
yeah,
crazy for this? Like it was even hot then. It wasn't as hot as now, obviously, but it was still hot. Like a little hot for him to be up there spawning again. Was there like another spawn that kind of kept some shallow, you think, or is that pretty usual for that place? And that's just why there's that many bass in it.
I've never seen them do that there, to be honest. I thought that was pretty wild myself. My brother, he sent us I thought he was joking because,
Yeah.
like, I had caught one. We found two on bed in June, like the middle. What is this? We're in July, right?
We're at the end of we're at the
We're
end
in
of June.
June.
I'm
End of
so
June. I don't even
lost.
know what day it is. Anyway, we went out. I guess a few weeks ago. Then the beginning of June, we were out there, and that's when everybody's out offshore and stuff. And I'm, looking for brim beds. Well, we're going on the bank, and I see a 4-pounder just, chilling this brim bed. What I thought was a brim bed. He's right beside it, and my buddy pitches a Cinco at him, and he bites and immediately breaks him off. And I'm like, well, crap, that one's screwed. So we put the poles down, we're re-rigging and stuff. And he stands up. He's like, that bass is still there, dude. I'm like, no way he's still there. You
No
just
way it's
stung
on
him.
a bed.
Yeah. And we get back up and he won't leave. And I see the white spot he's sitting on. And we sit there and I flipped a crawl in there and beat him in the head. And he sucked it in. And I caught him. And it was like, what are you doing?
Dude,
you,
you
you,
lost?
yeah, you missed the memo, bro. But then, yeah, just the other day, my brother sends us a picture in the group chat. Catches like a almost 4-pound male off the bed. The female was huge, and it was right before that rain came in, and it was in the back of Spring Creek, where my parents and stuff live, and right by the
Yeah.
dock. In the hot, nasty water back there, that sucker was bedding right beside the dock a week ago, the end of June. I was like, what the heck is going on here? I guess some of them are just late spawners. I guess there's so many fish they just kind of go on their own timetable.
Wow.
But
That's That's
Yeah.
wild. I guess it really just shows how many fish are truly in that lake. I mean, if you could put a number to it, how many bass think are in that, like, seriously in Lake Guntersville right now?
Oh, dude, that I don't want to sound crazy. I promise you, there's millions. Promise. I don't want to sound crazy and say like there's a billion bass, but there's definitely millions. I don't know how many it is, but I mean it is ridiculous because like that's that's something else I was thinking the other day because me and my dad they got that Bass Cash Bash thing. There's a few lakes that do it. I think there's like 6 or 7 different lakes,
Yeah.
and if you buy the T-shirt and you can do it whatever across the whole country. But I signed up for it on Guntersville out of the off chance I'm actually going to catch one of them.
Yeah, but
And
surely you're on the lake every day. You have the best odds, right?
yeah, I'm like, well, shoot, I'm out here all the time. I might as well sign up. Well, it's like $100. I've paid $100 the last 4 years for that thing, and every year, I mean, we're talking about it the other day. I'm like, out of the thousands of bass that have been in my boat, I had never seen one. And then I took that 7-year-old the other day. He's not signed up for it, and he caught a 3.5 with a 2025 tag in its back, and I was like,
Oh,
that is crazy.
what?
Yeah,
What
little
would it,
fella could not believe it.
what can you win if you catch that? What's the deal?
Well, the minimum that you win off of it, if you buy the T-shirt, it's like an extra 500 bonus, but the minimum is $1,500 per tag. Yeah. So, and then there's two out there that have a truck and a boat. So, like one of them has a brand new Ram 1500, and one's got the boat and stuff. And I always just sign up. But I was thinking about that. With the whole point of that whole spiel right there was to say, if there's that many bass in the lake, they put 200 in there, right? So that sounds like there's a lot of tags.
Yeah, that's a lot of tags.
You got like a 1 in a million chance, literally, of catching one of them fish.
So slim to win a truck. That's
I
crazy.
know.
I
Like,
actually I caught one of those tags one time, and I called that dude that runs it. It was
yeah,
awesome. Sam Rayburn fishing a college tournament, dude. I'm like, we found we had this one little offshore sneak spot. We absolutely murdered him on it, and like I caught this tag, and I knew about the truck. I'm like, holy crap, maybe I won the truck. So I called the dude after the tournament. He's like, yeah, you got to be signed up, but I think I was in like a 1 in 10 shot if I was signed up and winning the truck was like that tag fish. I was like, no
oh my
way.
goodness.
I was so close.
Oh my goodness. Why would you not have signed up?
I
That's
had no
crazy.
idea about it. Like literally no clue till that happened. Or I can't remember if that was like just a Sam Rayburn one. It was something along those lines, but there was a truck involved. I was like, he's like, yeah, you were close, but not close enough, I guess. I was like,
Yeah.
dang it.
Yeah, Rayburn's one of the lakes that Bass Cash deal is on. That's the same guy that does Guntersville too. So that probably was. You just
Probably
missed out
was
on a truck.
it. I
That
was like,
sucks.
crap. Oh
Golly. Well, this
no.
is everybody's PSA right here. We are no way affiliated with that, but don't be
No
that
way.
guy.
Exactly. Don't lose out on your chance to win a truck.
Yeah,
Exactly.
for real.
So, Laker, what do you think the future holds for this lake? Like, do you think it can sustain the pressure? I mean, like, you think it'll be all right with the grass? What do you think?
I think as long as they don't kill the grass, which I don't know if they can. I mean, they've killed the grass everywhere else on every other Tennessee River lake there is, but like they're doing the same stuff to Gunners what they've done anywhere else, and it's like the grass is getting thicker. So I don't know. I don't know if our bottom is just different or if the current
Yeah,
flow is perfect for the grass or what. But the old rich people that live on the lake are about to go crazy over that grass. But
literally. Can you even like? Can you pleasure boat out there really right now, or is it that just full of it? Like, it's tough.
it's pretty bad. I mean the floating crap. I mean they got so I don't know who started this whole program, but they've got these big grass scoopers out there, right? So it looks like a ferry. They got ferry wheels on the side of them, right? So it's these humongous like cage boats with one dude in them, and it's got a really big ramp that's like a conveyor belt,
Mhm.
and they just go around and they stay. They don't go very fast. I guess they can't go anywhere, so they just kind of stay right where they're docked at, which is only like 4 places, but they go around, they scoop it up every day, boatloads of it, just
Oh
boatloads
my
of floating crap.
gosh.
And it doesn't really do anything. I mean, honestly, they burn
4 different
piles of it.
ships, and they're just not doing it. It doesn't do
Yeah,
anything.
they burn
Wow.
piles of that stuff every day, dude. And then there was one company that was out there. I won't say their name, but they had a deal where they would clean up, the grass around docks and stuff. And, it was great. They had a lot of business, because people wanted the grass around their dock gone, but
Yeah, exactly.
people didn't realize, well, if the wind blows the right way, my dock obviously gets a lot of grass around it because it's in the wrong spot. So it just filled right back up the next weeks.
Didn't matter.
Yeah, it didn't really matter. So all that to say, as long as that population of grass is in there, I don't really think that Guntersville's ever going to get affected. I mean, if it hasn't been affected in the last 3 or 4 years of
Literally.
of tournament fishing and everything else, I don't think it can really.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that and then eat my words 4 years from now, probably, but I
Gosh, I
hope
hope
not.
not.
I hope not because the place
Literally.
is so fun.
No, like I think it makes sense because if you look at, we were talking earlier about this too. If you look at Chickamauga, that place, it's good at certain times. It's one of the best lakes at certain times, but that pressure, I think, eventually gets to. Some people can still go out there and catch 30 pounds every time, but
Yeah.
not that many people can go out there and just catch a bunch of fish like you can in Guntersville. And I really think that's got to be because the grass. There isn't grass all over, not really good, healthy grass all over Lake Chickamauga. And
Yeah. I mean, Chick is me and Chick have a weird relationship. I'm not a huge fan of that place. It doesn't fish like Guntersville, so
not at all.
uh, I don't typically have the best track record there. But
Yeah.
the grass zones that y'all do have are fairly good,
Yeah.
especially in the wintertime. But yeah, as the summer progresses, I think it does hurt it a little bit because the fish don't have as many places to hide.
Exactly. Yeah.
Guntersville, I mean, from top to bottom, you got a grass bed every 100 feet, so
Dang.
it's
Literally.
it's it's unbelievable. That's the coin phrase of this podcast. We've said insane
Unbelievable.
and incredible. We're just gonna say unbelievable,
Unbelievable.
unbelievable. It's
Unreal.
unbelievable.
Oh, that's too good. I had one more thing for you here. I'm trying to think. I just lost my train of thought. We were talking about unreal too much, which obviously Lake Guntersville is. So
Unbelievable.
what I guess here it is. What would you say? You can say any baits here. Obviously, it's a GSM podcast. But just be real. Like, if you could go to Guntersville right now, what 5 baits are you having on your deck?
Well, number one bait is obviously going to be a jackhammer.
Yep.
Just a half-ounce jackhammer. I mean, if I had one bait the rest of my life, there it'd be a jackhammer, probably with a Zako on it, like legit. I would probably have two different colors. I would just go with anything dark. It don't even matter, just as long as the blade's painted. And then second one, let me think. Shoot, a Cinco is hard to beat
Fair.
about 90% of the time. The only time the Cinco doesn't really do that great is the winter,
Yeah.
when they get out offshore and float and stuff. For the winter time, I'd probably have to have a jerk bait and a minnow, and then the fifth bait. mm, oh shoot, fifth bait would be a dang any kind of top water walking bait, like a spook or a walking ball, something like that.
Totally. Yeah. I
Yeah.
like it. I like it.
Yep.
So that's the 5 things you need to catch bass on Guntersville, pretty much, huh?
That's the five baits. I mean, you need scope for the winter time, and the rest of the time you don't.
Exactly. You can go catch him shallow like a man.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's right. That's
So
right.
talking about Senko kind of sparked something. This isn't totally in fruition yet, but maybe some little tease for the podcast. Let's say we held a Senko tournament on Lake Guntersville. What are your thoughts on that? What time of year? That's a little tidbit there. If people hung out to the end, they can tune in on that. But what are your thoughts on it?
That would be fire, honestly. It don't even, as long as it's not when it gets cold. It don't matter when it is, as long as it's not when it's cold. Because if it's brim bed season, springtime, you can go
Yeah.
fish the brim beds and whack them. But also something I've learned, I mean, guiding will teach you a lot. So something I learned in guiding is, and people that are watching this far into the show, you'll get a little tip right here. If you take a wacky rig, it doesn't matter. This is the one bait you could throw the rest of the time you're there, if it's summertime or whatever. You take a wacky rig, find any grass bed that's between 3 and 6 foot deep. You can throw a wacky rig out there on straight braid. Just green pumpkin Cinco, green pumpkin purple copper, doesn't matter. It's the two colors I throw. I'll give a kid or a woman that doesn't really fish much a Cinco, and they will throw it out there, and I'll tell them this verbatim. All right, let it fall 4 seconds and then pop it to the surface, let it fall 4 more seconds, and they will wear them out all day long.
So perfect. I love it. Oh,
I keep the hundred pack of Cincos in the day box at all times.
I love
So
it.
any trip I take, I can put a Cinco on and say throw it that way and count to 4.
Count to 4, bring it up, same thing, and you will catch a bass. All right, just set the
Yep.
hook.
That's
Oh,
the one bait I can literally promise somebody they're gonna catch a bass on if they throw it all day.
oh crap, man, that is gold. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Laker, I don't want to hold you for any longer, man. I know you got to get prepped and ready for your derby tomorrow. Good luck. Hopefully you catch him. Take this, I don't even know, Southern smallmouth. There's none down here. So just channel any smallmouth energy you got and go catch him.
Hey, me and my spinning rod. Okay, me and my spinning rod. I'm about to rig this sucker up, go put it in the boat. We're going after him, dude. It was great being on the show. I appreciate you having me.
Of course, Laker. Thanks, man. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
Oh, there we go.